Hey, that tune gasses me up, you know.
It's a hit. It's a hit.
Listen, welcome back, people. You're now tuned in to Do You Still Watch Wrestling? I'll be your host and presenter, Dashiki Dash, and I'm here with my co-host, my boy, my brother, Papa Kojo in the building. Yes. How you doing, my brother?
I'm wonderful, man. Mania season's around the corner. Literally
Listen,
around the corner. So, boy,
you know what song I've had?
Weekend.
You know what song I've had in my head all day?
What song?
Oh, WrestleMania. Alright, them classics there, you know. As you said, we are literally vastly approaching WrestleMania. 2 days. 2 days of WrestleMania, not just 1 day, 2 days. So that's Saturday and Sunday. It's gonna be jam-packed. But before we jump into it, let me just do some housekeeping. Guys, if you are watching, please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and share it with all your kinfolk. Yeah, man, just help us to obviously push this out there. Do you still watch wrestling? I know there's plenty of people out there that still watch wrestling. You're a bit shy. You don't want to get, you don't want to have your conversations with your friends and that. Bring it out, man. Bring it out to the surface. There's a platform right here, and you can come on and obviously you can chat with us, comments and everything. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Kojo, how are you doing, my brother?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm in good spirits. How about you? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I'm excited. I'm excited. When you hit me up was like, and you reminded me, to be fair, like, how life is and stuff. I'm thinking to myself, I swear WrestleMania is not like days away. I think it's like about a week or so away. And then it was like, nah, WrestleMania is this Saturday and Sunday. I was like, yo, we need to do this preview. We're going to go through predictions as well and what we, believe is going to happen. But just before that, we'll obviously just touch on, pre-WrestleMania, the Raw and SmackDown shows prior to the main event, this is like the biggest wrestling event, right? Yeah. In all organization, WrestleMania.
Fact.
Like, Kojo, break it down for those that don't know what WrestleMania is, or for those that need reminding of what and how big WrestleMania is. Let us know, man.
For those who don't understand that in 2 days, those jaws, yeah, those dias, yeah, those dias, in 2 days, the most spectacular event in all of actually, I was gonna say all sports, but maybe World Cup and Champions League can do the thing. Even Super Bowl, because they get people to come performing and whatever rubbish. But
it's up there.
Yeah, it's up there. So I say
it's up there.
WrestleMania doesn't give you 50 adverts for no reason. WrestleMania gives you just action. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you're about to see some good stuff. This is a spectacle. We've had amazing moments from 1 to 30. From, if I have to say, Hogan lifting up Andre the Giant, to Ricky Steamboat doing a madness, to Ric Flair versus Undertaker, to Ric Flair versus Shawn Michaels, to Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, part 1 and 2, to Triple H versus Undertaker, part 1 and 2, with Shawn Michaels against referee, and with John Cena versus Batista, the two guys who went through the Royal Rumble and went on the top rope together, both at the same time. Actually happened. Not like that nonsense they did on SmackDown years ago when it was Undertaker and Batista. Batista fell down first, and then Undertaker came down like 2 seconds later. They said there's a draw. No one fell for those tricks there. That man actually fell over. This one man, in all his anger, stormed down, tore his quad like he's Kevin Nash. This is Mania season, and we got phenomenal matches coming up as well. And the reason I'm more excited more than ever is because, one, this Mania was sold out, I think, even in December.
Very quickly, innit?
Yeah, very quickly. And number two, if there's someone that has built rivalries well in this company, since he's been in control, it's the Game, the King of Kings, the cerebral assassin, the Game, and also the COO of the company, if you're going to be more professional.
Yeah,
Triple H. Paul Levesque. So
unbelievable.
I'm gassed now. What are you saying?
I'm equally as gassed. You just named some real historical, memorable, nostalgic moments within wrestling. I think we've mentioned it here before. The main powerhouse events, which is WrestleMania, if we go in order, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. These are the ones that, it goes without saying that are the ones that really take you back, the ones that you really want to pay attention. And if you don't even watch wrestling, or you don't watch wrestling anymore, these main events, and WrestleMania is the biggest one. It brings everybody to the dance, celebrities, rock stars, pop stars, man. You will see a Mr. T, you've seen Limp Bizkit, you've seen Snoop Dogg, you've seen so many people who've attended WrestleMania, because this is like the Super Bowl. This is like the World Cup. This is it definitely bridges the gap within generations, with whether you're a child, teenager, young adult, old, OAP. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're involved. So literally, we're going to be discussing WrestleMania 39. Can you imagine 39 years of WrestleMania? WWE, hence why we're saying, out of all the organizations that you got out there, all the wrestling organization, WWE is still going on strong, showcasing the biggest, event in sports entertainment that there is. So we'll obviously give you our preview and predictions. I really want to get into certain, the matchups that's going to be happening over the 2 days. Let's start off with Raw, Smackdown. We'll just do a combination of it in terms of the preview. I didn't watch too much of it, so I'm going to be leaning on you a bit with this one, Kojo. So, like, prior to WrestleMania, we're expecting to get a little bit more insight to what's going to happen to WrestleMania, any kind of final words, any kind of final antagonizing moments to make you feel like, oh, like. And usually they use these opportunities to kind of sway you and where you're going to be thinking these matchups are going to be. Is this wrestler going to win? Is this wrestler going to lose? What's going to happen? So, like, what was your overriding feeling with the Raw and SmackDown shows before WrestleMania?
Yeah, no, I was calm with them. They're just nice little build-ups, you know what I mean? You had Cody Rhodes literally had to go through the whole family to get to Roman Reins. I mean, he's already got the match, but it's like, we're going to make sure that if you want to get there 100%, you got to get through the line of defense. You know what I mean? So he's helped Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn get back together. They're dealing with the Usos now. They had a little thing going on SmackDown where the Usos attacked them. Then they in turn attacked the Usos on SmackDown, on Raw, sorry. So that was a nice back and forth. That's a nice setup. And then he has Solo. And he looked at Solo and said, what did he say? He was ranting towards Roman Reins, and he goes, Solo, I see you looking at me over there. I'm going to tell you right now, just like me when I was in Legacy next to a champion, you're not ready. And he's like, yeah. He said, yeah, I'm not ready.
You're not ready for this, bruv. You're not ready for this.
But let me tell you something that I like about the subtleties about WWE that I've noticed. That's the thing that excited me more than the actual build-ups. There was a moment where Solo Sikoa, when he was pulled back by Roman Reins going to fight Cody on the SmackDown, and he sort of like grabbed him back and said, don't you dare. I told you to leave the ring. Get out. But as they're walking away, Roman's berating him. And Solo's looking more and more and more pissed off. So if he loses on Sunday.
Yeah. Because you know Roman Reigns is all about, you need to stick to the plan. And I clocked that as well, because when they were on the ring apron, and he's held him back, and he's like, look, this ain't the time. Not now. Like, kind of like, stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Don't bite to what he's, chucking out there for you. And he didn't listen. And also, Solo's got this streak that he's had. He was undefeated. So kind of the chinks in the armor for the Bloodline, because you've got an undefeated member of the Bloodline. If he loses, that's more chinks in the armor. It means that the Bloodline are feeling they've lost the kind of air of like invincibility to them. You know what I mean? Because this is meant to be the enforcer, Solo Sikoa, and if he can get can get got, as they say, then what holds for the fight against Roman Reigns, who, as much as he's the head of the table, the tribal chief, he's heavily reliant on the bloodline. Yeah. So Cody Rhodes showing, if I can beat Solo and I can, get him out of the way, that means I can get to you, Roman Reigns. And if I get to you, you're not going to have the bloodline to support you. And that was a key moment. Key moment.
Fact. And that's what I like is what you said there about the era of invincibility, because I'm going to make a statement. I feel like Roman Reigns is the biggest final boss in TV history. Like, when it comes to him, forget about Bowser. He's come and gone, man. His era's gone. He's done. You know, you're talking about someone he pretty much forced his family to fall in line. He forced them. The only one he didn't have to force was Solo. Solo helped him in Cardiff. But other than that,
Solo was sent from the Eldersman, though, innit?
Exactly. He was sent from the Eldersman. They say, hey, they can't make it, so you're going. They don't know about you yet, but you're going. But like, even with him, even with Roman Reigns without them, even if he has them on the sidelines, you feel like this guy's too difficult to defeat. How do you? He hasn't been pinned in what, almost 4 years? It's almost 4 years since he's been pinned, bro. Like, who is gonna actually stop this guy from running roughshod again? And this is the thing that they've also built so well of him is, if he dare loses, like most big bosses or most like dangerous enemies, they don't actually die in TV shows like that. They are wounded, they look like they're dead, but they always find a way back. He's not done yet. So even if you stop this, you know he'll be back.
Yeah.
What's going to stop him from going on another run? And judging off how good this run was,
I agree. I believe Roman Reigns definitely has another run after this, because his ruthlessness, and we discussed this last time, like his ruthlessness during like the pandemic times with no crowd and stuff like that was a lot more to the Roman Reigns that we're seeing right now. Kind of softened up a little bit, not all the way feeding into a face kind of transition, but they're not dumb. They acknowledge the popularity that they have and stuff like that. Introducing Sami Zayn to the group, softened up the touch or whatever. But the good thing about Roman Reigns is, if he loses, you just know that without those titles, it's gonna drive him insane. It's gonna drive him mad.
He might go on a rampage,
He might go on another rampage. The blame game would definitely open up. We've seen it. We've seen it before. He's literally choked out Jimmy and Jay for the purpose of falling in line. What will stop him for doing that now? He's kicked out Paul Heyman before. He's done everything to really show that, listen, like, if you don't go by what I'm telling you to do, this is the repercussions.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
But it's gonna be interesting. Let's move on to another. I think it's gonna be a decent match between these two wrestlers. Generational talents, shall we say, family members. We're going to the Mysterios. So finally, Rey Mysterio lays it on his own son after weeks, months, almost coming up to a year of just absolute disrespect. Dominik Mysterio disrespecting his dad. For those that don't know the storyline, basically Dominik Mysterio, Rey Mysterio's son, turns on him and just literally has been causing him havoc, been causing his family havoc, insulting Rey Mysterio, insulting his sister, and insulting his mum, which literally was the final straw. Rey Mysterio's own wife, Rey Mysterio, just couldn't take it no more. Meanwhile, Dominik Mysterio in previous weeks has offered his dad out, like, at the biggest stage of them all, like, we need to go one-on-one. Like, we need to fight. And Rey Mysterio has been refusing to fight, and then finally, couldn't take it no more because of just the blatant disrespect in front of his own mom, Rey Mysterio's wife, and then Rey Mysterio clocks him, bam, and tells him, we're going to meet at WrestleMania. How are you feeling about this? Now, you remember, I wasn't the greatest Rey Mysterio fan, but Dominic Mysterio fan. I put my hand up and I said, you know what? His weasel character is much needed in WWE. It's a perfect formula. You can't go wrong with a good weasel. And I believe that Dominic Mysterio has arrived. How are you feeling about this matchup at WrestleMania? Father versus son, son versus father.
I'm happy about it. And again, this is what I was talking about slow builds to you with Triple H earlier. If this was under the previous regime, this match would have happened in like November, if I'm being honest. It would have been a quick one. How dare you hit me? Disrespect your mum. They'll bring the mum and daughter in real quick. Dominik will shout at them backstage or call them a word, but like Ray, and this is why it's good as well, because Ray has also been able to avoid the situation where, and it's credit Dominik as well, where wrestling fans after a while they have enough of the good guy being good, and they're like, yo, just hit the guy, man. This is enough. So we're gonna start cheering him. Then if you're not gonna do it, whilst he bangs you, we'll cheer him, right? And it's like Dominik's been so good at being a punk. He's actually just a punk. That's the only way I can describe him. He's just a punk. A man in his rant to his dad said that all his boys drove to prom with Mercedes and he bought me a BMW. like his head was hot because of that. Come on, man. Hey, but it works with the character. And these two have done a stellar job, I must say. And even, I know Rhea Ripley's got her own match, but she's played a massive part in this as well because she's helped the character. Yeah, Mommy's helped the character. Like, she's doing her own thing, and the fans are starting to cheer for her. But at the same time, they would be absolutely delighted if she dropped Dominik where he stands. And that's exactly what they're looking for, because he will do anything for her, because quite frankly, he's dominated by her. That's just the be all and end all. But whatever the relationship is supposed to be between them, he hasn't been able to turn the fans the way that Rhea has, because he starts to get a few mommy chants now. They're starting to be like, yeah, we like this. Whereas with him, nah, man, forget that kid. But that's what you want. And I will say this. Remember 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was praising MJF for having the formula. But the thing is, if you're gonna be a heel, I can't have people cheering you.
I know, I agree, man. I hate that.
And he tries his best. And I feel like it's not completely his fault, because there was a time where they should have made him a good guy and they didn't. And the fans sort of now split on the whole thing, because he's being a, for lack of a better term, a dick to be a dick. But you could have done something else with him, man. We've been here, done that. You know what I mean? So even though he's such a good heel, the fans really want to cheer him. Whereas with Dominik, it's like, no one likes you.
No one likes you. Nah, he's a good heel, man.
He's a good heel.
He's a good heel.
For me, in my opinion, we haven't had this good a heel since probably when Batista came back and he was in that triple threat, because as soon as he knew the fans weren't feeling him, he turned that on them.
Yeah.
And he became even more of a monster heel. He was
Batista.
Yeah, man. Batista. I forgot about that. It was like, they were saying stuff like, no, he was saying stuff like, you cheer for like Daniel Bryan and all these guys, where are the men? And like, oh, like that. Okay, like he's like, where are the men? Like, where are the guys, bro? I thought Undertaker, Daniel Bryan. Just who you cheering for? Really? Like, so I like that. And even before then, Edge, when Edge became a scumbag.
Rated R Edge days.
Rated R Edge. Ooh.
Gosh.
Ooh.
I hated Edge, man. I've never really an Edge fan.
Really?
Yeah, man, because he was just so hard to support, because he was such a good heel. And even when he did his face turns, it was just like, I still can't let go of the weaselness, the just the snaky behavior, the opportunistic like stuff that he was doing. Yeah, man. Yeah. When you get really drawn into wrestling characters like that, they've done their job. It's like Bubba Ray. Like Bubba Ray is like,
he's a great heel.
Coldest heels.
Honestly, he would go to any lengths. That's what I like about him. And when he wrestles, he talks aloud as well, so he'll cuss you out to get even more frustrated with him. But even with Edge, just to go back to him quickly as well, like even when he was a face, there was such heelish stuff in there that, like you said, because me, I was an Edge fan, innit? I was an Edge fan from the Never Gonna Stop Me that time. But when he started doing scumbag stuff, like I've always loved heels, innit? So naturally for me, I cheer them, even though I know you're supposed to hate them, but I've always had
I love heels as well. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah,
but I realized that he was really hated. Apart from the crowd noise, was one of my family friends, Matthew. I haven't seen this guy in years, but I used to go to his house pretty much all the time when I was in secondary school. Right, anytime Edge was on TV, even on the game, it's like the guy's head was lost. He'll be fuming. And at first I thought, oh, he's just playing games, man. He's just acting. He'd be angry. I'll play with Edge as a cat. I'll be playing with Edge. The match will finish, and he'll look at me and be like, "Don't pick him again." And I'm like, "Yo,"
invoking them, them type of feelings and behavior,
bro. But that's what you want. So with Dominik, well done. And this is a proper good guy versus bad guy match. We haven't had that in a while. Like a proper, I hate this guy. I love this guy. Hope this guy absolutely destroys this guy. Job done. And if this guy wins, I'm going to be even more angrier. That's what you want. So, hey, man, Brilliant. Give me more.
All right, cool. Just a quick roundup. Like we said, not much really happened over the course of the two shows, which would be SmackDown. So Raw, then SmackDown. I think the other thing of interest was the fact that how, cohesive and back together Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. So that's obviously gonna set up for the fight. The match between the Usos. So WrestleMania 39 Saturday, which is WrestleMania Day 1. We can go through the card in terms of who is going to be wrestling on the night. So we've got the likes of Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. And then, like we said, Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio. Then we got Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul. The Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That's for the tag team. That's for the Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Then we've got Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. We're definitely gonna get into all of these lineups and matchups. And then we've got John Cena. You can't see me versus Austin Theory. So let's just quickly start off with Braun Strowman versus Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy and versus the Raiders, Viking Raiders.
How you feeling? Be honest.
It's definitely a filler.
Yeah.
This in itself, no disrespect, because I feel like everybody deserves their moment in WrestleMania. It's like going to the World Cup. You're going to get selected for the World Cup. You want to have the opportunities maybe to play, maybe in those games where you've qualified and you've got a spare game to go and you can put out a couple of fringe players. And I feel like all of these wrestlers here are all fringe wrestlers. Easily could have been on the pre-show. Is there a pre-show this year, or is it just straight?
That's a showcase,
yeah. So they could easily be on that, but I'm guessing they're on the first day. I'm not bothered about this at all. I don't see what it does for any of these wrestlers besides maybe having some highlight reel moments. But besides that, we're gonna see the likes of Ricochet doing some madness. We're gonna see who's the one from Street Profits again? Montez. Probably see him do something. Alpha Academy. Yeah, I'm not too bothered about this. I don't know. What's your thoughts on this?
Same. It'll be a good match. It'll be good. It'll be good. But
I'll probably be getting my snacks, at that particular point of time.
I hear it. I was just thinking back. I was just thinking like, okay, Viking Raiders are NXT social. About to call them social profits. Bloody hell! Yeah, what happened there? Street profits. Excuse me. NXT. Ricochet was NXT, and the other team was
Alpha Academy.
Alpha Academy. Yeah, that's NXT as well. Chad Gable, even though he was with Jason Jordan, wasn't he? And
Yeah,
American Alpha, that was there. Bloody hell.
Kurt Angle's son.
Yeah. Well. If he's Kurt Angle's son, I'm Vince McMahon's dad.
Oh man, that's such a Vince McMahon storyline.
Anyway, it was weird by it though. It was weird by it. Chad Gable was there. Like that just makes more sense.
Just he just loves the controversy. This is Vince McMahon. Sorry to say to sidestep on this, but this Vince McMahon is the same guy that tried to persuade his own daughter in a paternity storyline that involved him being the possible dad. And that in itself just shows you how crazy. And if that wasn't bad enough, as Stephanie McMahon obviously refused the storyline, he was like, all right, cool. If it's not me, then why not be it could be your brother? And she was like, no. Like none of this ancestral storylines. And then I'm guessing through that must have been like Triple H just jumped into that storyline. But anyway, neither here or there. Sorry to remind you guys of these, but it just shows you just how fried Vince McMahon is when it comes to this wrestling. He has a lot of good, but then he has a lot of bad that he has done over the years when it comes to storylines. But yeah, just going back to that multiple tag team match, I think we're both in agreement that is a bit of a shag match there.
Yeah.
We spoke obviously about Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio. Let's just go with that matchup. What would be your predictions for that?
I think Rey wins.
Okay.
The reason I say that is because I'm thinking about Damian Priest here, just for a moment, right? Who has the physical ability to be a player in the business, but I feel like he's become a bit of like a
lackey.
Like a bodyguard kind of thing. So if that's his role, fine. I feel like he's gonna mess up in the match with Dominik, and then Rey will take advantage of that, because I feel like a lot of the match is gonna be Rey trying to not be as harsh on Dominik, and then something's just gonna make him
snap.
Yeah, either that or he just gets a quick win and says, "Yo, I don't have to give him kick your butt, man. I'm just better than you. And you have to hold that." You know what I'm saying? If you're better than your dad, nah, man. Even Ed will laugh at you. So, yeah, I think he'll win. What are you saying?
I'm going with the opposite.
Dominik wins.
I think it's a perfect opportunity just to create and to push Dominik in that direction, give him the heat that he needs. The scalp of his dad is massive. He's been to jail for 2 seconds, and look how he sings about that. Yeah. 2 second jail man. And he sings on the top of the mountain, he'd be singing about that. So could you imagine if he beat Rey Mysterio? Right. Hall of Famer, right? I think he's up for the Hall of Fame. We'll chat about that as well in regards to the Hall of Fame, which is before WrestleMania. So imagine him beating a Hall of Famer at WrestleMania. Man, this guy will not stop. He will not stop until the cows come home in regards to being able to boast about this. And I feel like he just will win it in the most weasel way, probably make his dad feel sorry for him. Maybe they'll hug it out or whatever. Like, I'm sorry. And then a low blow or something like that. Pin him 1, 2, 3, and then escapes with a win. That's my prediction with that.
I hear that. I don't mind that. I don't mind it.
All right, cool. So next one. I don't know if this is in the particular order, so we're just gonna go through the list that's here. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. Quickly just talk about the build-up. How have you felt about the build-up? And then obviously the matchup, and then your prediction.
again, I'm happy with it. And the reason why I'm happy with it more than ever is because Logan Paul can handle himself on that mic. He's damn good. He's damn good.
Well, man.
And he's had some good matches already in the company. So I have no doubt. And the thing about Seth Rollins is I've been reading some articles on my way to work this week, and he doesn't like a lot of people. I just realized in that company he doesn't get along with a lot of people. Even I read today that Cody Rhodes said that him and Seth almost fought, like actually physically.
Is it? I thought they had a good I thought they had good chemistry, man.
They have great chemistry, but he said that them two don't like each other. And if he's honest, if he had a chance in a proper fight, he would look to rip his eyes out. That's what Cody said. Yeah, so there's legitimate beef there, but because they're such good professionals, they'll go out there and tell their story and do their thing and have a great match, but they just don't like each other. Which, I mean, you don't have to like people winning.
You don't.
It is what it is. Andy Cole and
Teddy Sheringham.
There you go. Exactly. And they got me in trouble, baby. So you know what I'm saying? They got me in trouble. So shout out them. But yeah, no, he's gonna put on another stellar match. Just for me, Seth Rollins can't lose this. It's not going to do anything to his credibility, don't get me wrong. But unless Logan Paul, like, beating Seth Rollins is a big deal. Like, beating Seth Rollins should be if you're going to go to the next. So, like, Austin Theory has beaten Seth Rollins before. He's been United States champion. He got it back. And since then, he's now going to face John Cena. Like, you're facing the legend. If he was to beat, I know we'll talk about that later, but if he was to beat him, then so on and so forth. With Logan Paul, all right, he had the match with The Miz. Then he had Roman Reins, had a phenomenal match with him. Then he got Seth Rollins. Unless the plan is for this guy to become a champion one day.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't give it to him. It's not needed. Because Seth Rollins will become world champion again one day. That's happened. So you don't need to win this match. I don't think Logan Paul really cares about winning. He just wants to show how good he is. Because for him, it's an ego trip. I'm good at this job. Whether you like it or not, I'm good at this. So people that hate me, I'll keep doing things that you think I'm not good at, and I'll keep proving you wrong. And he's done that throughout his whole career, to be completely honest with you. If I'm gonna just give him credit for that. So yeah, man. But hey, I need 15 curb stomps. Yeah. 15 curb stomps. I want his head in the not even in the mat, in the mud. I want to see his head, wedged in the pits of Beckton Farm in Newham. That's why I want to see his head down there. Bow.
But remember, Logan Paul's got the what's what was the Big Show's punch called? The W weapon of mass destruction.
After Osama bin Laden, we need to talk about this man. We need to talk about him. Yeah, because this guy's one of the biggest. Let me just bring up something real quick. I'm not gonna say the way the guy said it. But do you remember someone called Abraham Washington?
Yeah, it rings a bell. He
was a manager who wanted to get, I forgot what team he wanted to get, but he wanted to get a big team, couldn't, so he got the Colons, Primo and Epico, and then he left them for the primetime players. And this is when they were pure heels. And Titus O'Neil was in a one-on-one match with somebody, he was beating the guy up like levels. But Abraham Washington had a mic on his mouth all the time, a live mic. So
okay, I remember. Yes. Do
you remember the joke he made?
I can't remember the joke he made.
He made I'm not gonna say the joke, but I'm just gonna give you the play, right? Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But remember, he had a case back in like 2006 about being in a hotel with a woman and something happening that should not be happening.
Okay.
Abraham Washington, I have to say the joke. It's not even a joke, but I have to say what he said because he thought it was funny, but he was immediately fired for this. He said, Titus O'Neil, if I can't even say it, Titus O'Neil is like Kobe Bryant in a hotel in Colorado. He's unstoppable. Bro.
That's instant dismissal, man.
Instant, and the fans went. The fans were even alive that day, but when they heard it, it went from a little bit of noise to, hold on. And then Jerry Lawler, it's Jerry Lawler that killed me because he was quiet for about 5 seconds. He went, these comments, man. He said these comments, man. Like this guy.
Wow. You see, you know, as soon as you step back into the curtains, that's where your P45 or your P60 is right there. The pink slip. You don't even need to do the pink slip match. Just straight up. It's not on no pole, no nothing. Straight in your hand. You've been served.
Bro.
That is mad. That is mad. Bro, goodness me, yeah. Listen, you're gonna always hear a lot of strange things that Vince McMahon has done, or the storylines that he's encouraged, but then sometimes it goes a bit too far, and then he has to bring it back. So that's Vince McMahon for you. So yes, I agree with what you said about Logan Paul. I think for him, performance-wise, and just being able to hang with these wrestlers is enough for him to still boast about and say, look, I'm really damn good at what I do, regardless of what you may think. I've done other stuff, and I've still been able to come to this wrestling industry and be able to hang with the big boys. So yeah, Seth Rollins definitely to win, because I think we are kind of missing a Seth Rollins run at the title, or that kind of mix. So off the back of this, it won't really work too well if he loses. And then again as well, is Logan Paul looking to have a longer run in WWE? Because if he wins and then disappears, it's like you don't really build on that, innit? It's just like, okay, what next? So yeah, I agree with you with that. I agree. Moving on to Becky Lynch, Mrs. Seth Rollins, with the Hall of Famer Lita. I wonder if she's gonna be wearing them high-waisted thongs that she wears.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Anyway, let me concentrate. Trish Stratus and versus Damage Control. All right, so this is a 3 versus 3. I thought that this would be like a title match, but it's not. No. So it's like, what was the point of them winning the title?
I think they're trying to slightly. I feel like it's more about giving Damage Control a moment, because them in the rivalry, what I've heard a lot of is we looked up to you two, aka Lita and Trish.
Okay.
So given, because obviously Charlotte had her match at Evolution with, was it Trish that she had a match with? I think it was Trish. Yeah,
Trish Stratus, she did. Yeah.
So she's had her moment. Obviously, Sasha's gone, so she won't have a moment. Even though Trish Stratus has said that she wants to have a match with her. So the day that I guess that she does come back to WWE, if she does, then that will happen. But Bayley and Becky had a match with Lita. Now she's tag team partners with her and Trish. And I think the reason why I'm a bit interested in this match, other than someone's dump truck, is shout out Bayley. Is because I feel like we might have a Trish Stratus heel run.
Yes. I was thinking about this. I was thinking, what if Trish Stratus just turns on Lita? Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna turn on Lita. I slightly think, hear me out. I slightly think Damage Control win at Mania, and in typical WWE style, there will be a random tag team match on Raw or SmackDown, and Trish is going to do something to Becky.
Okay.
I think Becky is about to go into a rivalry with her, because I don't see any reason to reignite a Lita Trish.
Yeah. I totally understand.
Yeah. So,
and with like Lita just like turning and be like what's going on here? Like, why? What are you doing? Like, and then she's gonna be torn in the middle. Yep.
Yeah. And then she'll always back her girl, man. Becky and her will have a match, and then Lita will be like, hey, listen, we ain't dusted each other to the Hall of Fame. You ain't about this life, man. You know what I mean? You thought you could come say, well, take me to Dublin and give me some Guinness and all that with me, be boys. No, it's not like that, man. It's not like that. It's all right.
Okay. Before we move on, man, just make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that, share it. And if you're watching it live, or if you're going to be watching it later, man, just do all that you need to do. Help us so we can get up with our followers and all sorts like that. Moving on to pretty much one of the main events, wherever it is placed on a card. This is literally one that everybody is waiting for. It's the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the undisputed tag team championship match. The Bloodline, as you can see right there, there's been a lot that's been going on with the Bloodline, a lot of turmoil, a lot of confusion. Jey Uso has been very conflicted with whether or not he's Bloodline in or Bloodline out. But one thing for sure, he's always going to be down for his twin brother. That goes without saying. So for now, it's definitely Bloodline in. Another brotherhood that's just been repaired is Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They've gone through their turmoil, back and forth, hating each other, and now they're brother in arms as they have to obviously combat the Bloodline. How are you feeling about this matchup, and who do you think is going to win?
Just like Cody, actually, just like the whole Bloodline thing and Cody involved, this story's been perfect, man. It's been perfect. So for me, the only way that this ends nicely is for the Usos to lose, unfortunately for them. At this point, they don't even need the tag team titles. If we're going away from the rivalry from this one moment and the storyline, they're goated, man. They're elite. They are absolutely elite,
man.
One
of the best tag teams ever
of all time. Yeah, for me personally, they're in my top. They might even be in my top 3. I'm about to say top 5, but it might be a top 3 thing.
Jimmy and Jey Uso. I remember when Jimmy and Jey Uso, the Uso brothers, they weren't even the Usos them times, but you know, the Rikishi's sons, they came down with is it Tamina? Was it Tamina? Yeah. They were all kind of look preppied up and they're kind of jumpers and stuff. But one thing I noticed about these two guys, they cut one of the best debut promos I've ever heard in wrestling history. They were clean with their promo. Like the way they were talking, the cadence, they were in pocket, they were dropping bars, and I'm thinking to myself, who are these guys? And then they were like, it's Rikishi's son, and then they were like, oh, it's The Rock's cousins, and I was like, of course. When you've grown up and you've seen The Rock, the way he's handled the mic, they thought to themselves, you know what? When we come to this, we need to be throwing down. And ever since then, they've come on leaps and bounds. They've definitely gone through their evolution in regards to, you know, paying homage to their uncle Umaga, to, you know, the penitentiary staff, and now obviously the Bloodline. Undisputed tag team champion, record holding amount of wins, holding the title for a length of amount of time, and now they're here at WrestleMania, man. And you're saying they're gonna lose?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I know. All good things have to end. I know, but I'm just like,
I totally buy everything you said, and I will not be upset if they run continued. But I think for storyline purposes, they have to lose. The Bloodline now has to have a big explosion. It needs it because it's been building, and I think Roman really wants to do something to Jey. So if they lose the title, something's gonna happen there, and I'm excited for it. I need it. And I feel like in this match, the reasons they're going to lose is because Jay's going to have a hesitation on doing something to Sami.
Okay, I like this.
That's where I'm like, yeah. And they'll catch him slipping. And the thing is, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have had such a sick rivalry from NXT to now. Like, their rivalry's been bloody fantastic. And they've had great matches. They've come together as friends again. Then they became rivals again. But it's always worked. It's not been, oh, here we go again. They don't like each other. No, it's been worked perfectly. They need a tag team title run, man. They deserve it. In my humble opinion, I feel like they deserve it, man. I feel like the journey they've had together, the championships they've won, the stories they've been part of, the quality of service they've given to the company, and also bear in mind, there's a lot of NXT guys that came into Vince's main roster and didn't thrive the way these two thrived. Anything you gave them, they ran it. They ran it well. And Sami Zayn was the MVP in terms of the men, in my opinion, of the pandemic era. I know Roman Reigns did his thing, but away from obviously being the big champion, he was always going to be put on a pedestal. He ran his thing, and Kevin Owens was just producing magic with Roman Reigns all the time, man. So, listen.
No, I agree. I don't think you're. I think I'm coming from a point and a stance of just like I don't want to see the Usos lose, but for the sake of the storyline, it would make sense and it will allow for more to come out of what's going on with the bloodline. I agree. Yeah. If I was to give, as much as I agree with that, and I believe that's what will happen as well, I'm gonna give you maybe an alternative, yeah, a multiverse version.
Go on.
You remember when I said I feel like there's something that Roman Reigns has got up his sleeve, and I just feel like as much as Sami Zayn has been building up the friendship, getting back with Kevin Owens, I just feel like Sami Zayn might screw Kevin Owens. I don't know if this is maybe the bigger plan, but I'm just putting that out there. I'm putting it out there that I feel like maybe Sami Zayn might do a switcheroo, might cost Kevin Owens, and this also even going over Jey Uso's head, like, yo, what's going on here? Like,
that'll rattle him even more.
Yeah, like I was kept out of the loop. Maybe Roman Reigns saying, like, look, man, I was testing you, and you crumbled. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't run this plan by you because look, man, look how you're handling yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it like that because I'm not fully confident with that, but I would love to see something like that. I would love to see something like that.
I hear it. I hear it.
All right, cool. So we're gonna leave that. That was the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. You've got Charlotte Flair. How many titles has she won now? Like, was it
14?
14. Do you know this record when people say, "Oh, 14-time champion"? Like, it sounds good, but in my mind, I just think to myself, "But you've lost the title 14 times, man." Like,
I hear it. I hear it.
Like, you keep losing. You know what I mean? But listen, she's one of, if not, you know, of modern era in terms of like GOAT status, in terms of what she's done. Without your Sasha Banks, now she stands alone. You know, obviously Becky Lynch is there as well, but I don't think Becky Lynch is all the way at Charlotte Flair's level of like Showtime, like, you know, big. You know, she's the queen. Charlotte Flair. This is going to be versus Rhea Ripley, who's just been going on leaps and bounds in regards to her journey. And as I've always mentioned to you before, like, I always feel like it's just realistic to have these, if you want to call these heavyweights of the women's division. I don't want to see a Rhea Ripley versus Alexa Bliss. I don't want to see things like that. I want to see Charlotte Flair, your Bianca Belairs, your Rhea Ripley's, and this is a match that we knew that once Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble, she was gonna pick none other than the Queen, Charlotte Flair. How are you feeling about this matchup, and how you seeing it going?
I'm excited again. That's another match I'm happy to have. You see, I had a dispute on Twitter with a guy. I didn't even respond to his message after because I knew he was one of those wrestling fans that would just come and keep jumping in your messages, right? But he was saying that he feels that Triple H has managed the women's division poorly. And I said, you guys are lacking like vision because you need to see what they're building here. See, Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble and immediately told you why she's going after Charlotte. There's been an agenda. And as the week has gone by, it's not only about beating Charlotte, it's about now taking her spot. Rhea's not happy with you guys to say mommy, and Rhea wants to be the star. It's her time now. Give me the crown. I want to run this. They're building a story. And me and this person had this dispute. Actually, I said, was it this week? No, it wasn't this week. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. And I said, that's what I said was give it time. Like you need to breathe and listen to what is being said on the mic, because a lot of you live for just having action and fighting all the time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
If you want to do that and not have a proper build, go and watch the other guys, man. But like, you know,
It starts with an A. It starts with an A.
Starts with an A. Starts with an A. But like they're building something, and they had their first proper like physical altercation, and it was good. It was good to watch. Two heavyweights, essentially. This is what we're talking about. They're the big ones in the division. Like you said, if you want to have a main event, these are the guys that you want in the main event. That's what they're here for. So I'm excited. And I think it's Rhea's time. I really do think it's Rhea's time, because of the last 3 years, she's been given BS tag team stuff with Nikki Cross. It's not on there. It's not their fault.
Yeah.
But it was actually just thrust into that. And it's not like they can't carry their own weight. You give them a good character enough, they'll do their own thing. But she's got megastar written all over her. And not everyone, that, as everyone knows, is a megastar. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Not everyone can run the show like that. So, yeah, I think it's her time. And I think Charlotte's more than happy to do it, because Charlotte is now about setting records. She doesn't need a long run as champion. She'll get a championship again. She'll win the championship again. That's fine.
She'll be 15 times.
She'll be 15-time champion. Give it SummerSlam. Give it SummerSlam, and she'll win the title. Actually, no. Ooh, you know what? No. Let me change that statement. Sorry. I think give it about a year and a half, 2 years, and then she'll get a title.
Oh, listen.
But yeah.
She's setting records, but yeah, I agree. We've spoken about Rhea Ripley's rise on this show. I believe if she gets the title, she definitely goes on a superstardom run. And also, like I said, I believe if she's got the strap around her waist, it gives her more power within Judgment Day. And Mommy could be a real big force. There's always just been this push about her getting the IC belt. I think she's also tread carefully with that, because she doesn't want the full comparisons to China. But I feel like if she has the women's title as well as leading predominantly obviously male group, she definitely could push leaps and bounds with that role. And then also not needing to heavily be involved in beating up the men, and the men can't beat her up. That's another frustrating part of her story that sometimes I don't like, because men can't punch up on women unless you're Stone Cold Steve Austin. But that's for another period of time. All right, cool. So this is literally, like I said, I don't know if it's in a particular order in terms of the fights, but we're on the last matchup of day one, which is Saturday. John Cena versus Austin Theory. This is pretty much kind of been built up as like the past, the present, and the future in terms of I don't think all the way that they're similar, but there are some slight similarities. They've been going back and forth over the weeks. Austin Theory calling out John Cena, which is a very smart move for him, because it's just putting him on the same kind of kill as John Cena, the same bill as John Cena. And if you can beat John Cena, then boy, that pushes your stock high. But as we know, John Cena told him, like, could be a lose-lose situation. If I beat you, boy, you go crumbling back down the hill. If you win, you're on your own now. You're gonna have to hold this status. Can you do this week in, week out? It's all good beating me, but can you come out week in, week out to perform, to be on the mic, to really, be in a position to carry this company? I don't know if you're ready. I'm on the way out. So moments like this is just a bonus for me. You know what I mean? And I love this promo because, John Cena loves to just break things down in the most kind of realistic way possible. And I bought into it, man. He was right. How are you feeling about the somewhat short rivalry, but I think it's been quite effective? And what's your thoughts about this matchup? Who's going to win?
I'm going Cena all the way, man. That's back my boy, man. That's back my boy. I'm back. I'm literally backing him like he's Manchester United. That's how I'm back to Cena. No, the way is
that's full loyalty from you, bro.
That's loyalty, hustle, loyalty, respect. There you go. You know it, man. Everyone that's listening, loyalty, keyword bow. Nah, you know what it is. He makes a very compelling argument about how, because Cena's thing, and I remember this, Vince, Seth Rollins in the interview said, "Me, you're gonna go out there." John Cena said to him, "Me, you're gonna go out there, and I'm gonna say things, and you're gonna have to hold that in the hope that you build yourself into something crazy." And I remember the promo. Promo was when he was gonna face Cena for the United States Championship, and Sting was going to face Seth Rollins in the same night at Night of Champions. And he said, "You understand the pressure's on you now, because when the legacy that was bestowed upon him, and he was pointing to Triple H, by Ric Flair,
woo!
That's huge. And now he's betting on you. Now you are the guy. So whether people say Roman Reigns is being built to be the face of the company or stuff, you're in the biggest like sort of storyline. You're with the guy. You're with Triple H. He's next in line. So if you're gonna build something, it's gonna be on you. But the only difference between you and him is that he was never Ric Flair's bitch." Like wow.
You know that word? Wow. You know that word, bitch? Yeah. When someone really says it with vim, the bitch.
So when he said to, because I remember sitting there listening to that promo, and I watched it again at work. That when BT Sport dropped a whole clip.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to really hear what this guy said, because past all the disrespect, what is he trying to drop here? And he said, you don't have the right to offer me a match at Mania. You're not there.
Yeah, that was a cold bar, you know,
bro.
Like, you've not done anything in your career. Like, how can you
say my name? Go and say Johnny Gargano's name, bro. Why are you saying my name for? Like, what's going on here? And then
it was almost like it was bait, that is clout that you're just after.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you've been running your mouth about me. You've been taking photos like I did with the old United States Championship, wearing jorts and everything. Like, you're trying to steal my thunder. But the thing is, even if I lose, you ain't me. And this is what you understand. And then when he said, yeah, I'd rather be bold than to have them put fake crowd noises. Bro, huh? Listen, as much as I love the guy, yeah, sometimes there's gonna be one person that says, "No, fuck this." Forget all promos.
Crowd noises like this. Yo, man.
He cooked him. But at the same time, I will say this here, and it might sound very old to a lot of people saying this, but I feel like it's a point. This gen of wrestlers and all that, and I'll actually praise what's this guy's name? John Moxley, Dean Ambrose, for this one. I don't know if you saw the news about him being on his wife's podcast.
Yeah, and he was dissing the fact that people are just more interested in social media stories rather than actually talking about, you know, good matches. Yeah.
And the point that really stuck to me was, he said that I've been in FCW, I've been in the Indies, I've been in WWE for 8 years in the main roster. I've never seen so much nonsense drama in my life. And not saying that happens in WWE, because I haven't heard of that. Obviously, I mentioned about the beefs that are there, but the professional enough to do their thing outside, right? But like, there's a gen of wrestlers coming around. I remember Randy Orton said that he got cooked for it, but he was right. These men care about themselves in the sense that, not about being selfish or when they're trying to climb to the top, where Triple H back in the day would tell you, I'm going to the top whether you like it or not. They're sneaky, they're pathetic about it. It's weird. And Cena's what I liked about Cena's promo was, listen, Man, them like you will keep saying my name. We're not levels.
We're not levels. We're not the same.
We're not the same. And bruv, even when I was building myself up and I was basic thugonomics, I got into rivalries with Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Triple H. You didn't see me running my mouth once. The only time I ran my mouth was just about The Rock. But even when he was talking about The Rock, he was just saying, I thought The Rock was going to stay. That's what I really thought. And I miss it was essentially, I miss you. That's what it was. But when he started
you put in a lot of work, a lot of time, and like you're not around kind of thing.
Yeah. But when he started talking real crud about him, Cena had the stars. He was a world champion multiple times. Headlines main event of WrestleMania, undoubtedly. So if The Rock steps back into the ring, there's only one name really and truly that you want to see him face in WWE, and it's John Cena. You got that. You are not that guy. You can't say my name. How can you say man? You can't do it. It's just impossible for you to do it. And the fact that I'm even give you this match is a privilege. So if you're going to beat me, Cena won the United States Championship against Big Show. The next year, he won the he won the WWE title against JBL. Right, the very next year. If you're United States champion and you win, and the Raw crowd that comes to chew everybody that they want and spit them out, if you can't handle those guys, I'm scared for you, because if you're coming from me, you're saying you're better than me. Next year, become undisputed champion. I dare you. Run that. Do it. I want to see in the main event with I don't know, Cody, Rhodes, Roman, whoever it's gonna be. Be there. If you're not gonna be there, this match is a waste of my time. So I'm giving you this match as this is a chance now, because you're the young guy. You are the young guy. You're gonna run this. But if you come and you're underperforming, even if you beat me but you don't show up, hey man,
I got you.
And the truth is, bro, you got, in my opinion, two people in NXT that are ready to take his spot if he doesn't do this thing. Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes. And them two are having a match. And I feel like the loser of this match will be on the main roster on Monday Night Raw. I really feel like that. And that's a spot, because Braun Breaker has been in the business. He's learned from Goldberg, the Steiners, his dad and his uncle. Like, he's learned from everybody. This is his thing. Yeah. So he's confident on the mic. He's confident in the ring. You can't stop him. Carmelo Hayes has this natural charisma, and he's so good in the ring. But when he talks as well, he can handle himself. He's one of the few wrestlers I've actually watched in the last couple of years that doesn't get what chance at him.
Yeah.
And he's not even doing it on purpose. It's because he can talk, and he's got his hype man that tells him talk your talk, and they want to hear him talk his talk. Like, there's man them ready for you. So listen, I remember you said it before his actual like heelish stuff without the phone came out. You told Austin Theory, drop the phone. This become a Monster Hill, and I can't lie, I agree with you because he's delivered on it. I'm happy you said it, but this is a big challenge.
Big test. It is a big test for him.
This test is huge, man. Because Cena passed it with JBL and Big Show with flying colors.
Yeah,
he ran his thing. This is now your time. And he dropped a promo on Raw when he was in the ring by himself. I think he did it earlier in the night or some stuff. That's what they said. And if I'm being very honest, I didn't buy into it because it didn't feel like we know it's scripted, but it was scripted just to try and make it feel believable. I didn't buy into it. I need a bit more. I just need a bit more. So, hey man,
that's what I feel from him. I think that he does lack that. But maybe if with going through the process, being in a ring with John Cena, then maybe the reaction that he gets post match, appearing on Raw, that's what's going to really determine whether or not he can move on from that. And I agree. Cool. Let's just quickly go through the Sunday. This is day 2, guys. Day 2 of WrestleMania. Doesn't feel as stacked as day 1. I might be mistaken, but we've got another just ridiculously jam-packed. Well, let me just go through the names. We've got Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, Natalia and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. Look, this is another WrestleMania showcase match. Everybody deserves their time in the sun. Personally, I ain't really got much to say about this.
I'll just say this. I've got nothing much to say either, but I'll say this. I'm actually a big Chelsea Green fan.
Okay.
Some reasons, not so much wrestling, but you know what? No, the reason, if I'm being very honest, is because anyone that's I have this weird habit of watching like 5 or 6 wrestlers that are outside WWE and just seeing what they're doing. And I followed her on Twitter and Instagram to see what she was doing, because you can't really get independence over here the way they show it over there, kind of thing, and all that stuff. So she's actually superb in the ring, and if you give her her proper crazy character, you might be on money. If I'm being honest, you might be on money. Her nickname in the Indies was Hot Mess, obviously in relation to her being attractive, but also being a flipping psychopath. And she has psychopath tendencies that she's shown in the ring as a character. So if I'm being honest, you let her run that, you might be on money. And she's got the look. The look is important. Whether people
That's
like it or not,
very important. Let's not deny that.
She's tall, she's leggy. People in America love legs, especially white people. Like white folk love legs. Let's be real. I mean, who doesn't? But white people.
Shout out Stacy Keibler, Hall of Famer.
Shout out Stacy Keibler. Hey, by the way, this man, you know good milk. But anyway, she's got the look, she's got the talent, she's good on the mic if you give her the chance, and I've noticed that she's starting to get reactions from the crowd when she pops up on the screen doing the stuff with Adam Pearce, which is a big thing, by the way, because Adam Pearce, no matter what he doesn't get any reaction. So, like, the fact that you are getting something from that little segment, people are starting to slowly invest in you. I think it's good. So, I mean, I obviously said 2 or 3 weeks ago that I would want Io Sky to have the next big, run. But if you build Chelsea Green up to be a very good challenger, who just says you can't go after Rhea Ripley? I'm not saying she should beat Rhea Ripley, realistically.
But she has the opportunity to kind of hang with that.
Just about, because she's tall, she's got a good build, she's strong. And if you give her character properly to actually build it and be strong with it, it could be onto a winner. But yeah, man, other than that, listen, I think it'll probably be Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey that win this match.
Yeah. Who knows? Listen, like I said, every wrestler deserves their moment in the sun when it comes to WrestleMania. I think the opportunity in these multiple tag matches is just to have your highlight reel moment, and then just kind of move on from that. Just to quickly run through the names, and then just we'll go through each one. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. We've had our opinion of that matchup. Edge versus Finn Balor. Now, when we come back to this one here, I'm going to give you like something that I really want to see in this match.
All right.
Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus.
Hold on.
For those that don't know, that is the Gunther, standing stance. This guy, listen, he's come on leaps and bounds, man. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. We'll talk about that, and then it will be the main. You already know, man. That is the main event of the WrestleMania. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, the head of the bloodline versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. All right, cool. So Brock Lesnar versus Omos. Now, I don't think this is really a matchup that I've been hearing. There's rumors that Brock Lesnar this might be his last WrestleMania. This might be actually his last run. There's word behind the curtains that he's been saying his goodbyes already. So yeah, I read that just the other day. I don't know how true this is, but I wouldn't be surprised even if it wasn't a case where he's completely out, but probably another lengthy break before Triple H and Vince McMahon flash a few more dollars in his face again, and then he comes out. And then we don't know what shape he's gonna be in as well, because sometimes when he comes back, he's fully beer belly, huntsman belly. I don't know, man. But yeah, you've mentioned this on this show. Suplex, test of strength. Amos will probably try and show how dominant he is, and then the match will probably end. I don't know. Like, is there any other way you see this fight going?
Weirdly enough, I feel like Brock Lesnar's gonna lose, but I feel like after a while he'll start getting in control and dominating. But I feel like his rivalry with Bobby Lashley is not done yet.
Hold on a second. There's no Bobby Lashley in this.
No, because Bray Wyatt's injured. So he's in the show. He's in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown on Friday instead.
Okay.
They're trying to get Bray Wyatt back, so it could be a thing where Bobby Lashley wins it, and then he says, "You hear that ding, ding," and then he comes out and says, "We're not done yet. We'll have this match." But it's more than an injury. I feel apparently he has some sort of condition that they found out, and he found out pretty late. Obviously, if Bray Wyatt didn't know, it is what it is, isn't it?
Boy, man, hope for his speedy recovery for Bray Wyatt, but I will not be missing him in WWE.
I know you won't. I know you won't. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm done with him.
But Bobby Lashley's in that one. But I feel like Bobby Lashley's gonna cost Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar probably will disappear for a bit. But I feel like this shouldn't be his swan song match. I feel like he needs one more big match. Like, it's Brock Lesnar, man. It's Brock Lesnar. But at the same time, if he wants to retire, so be it. The guy doesn't. It's not about not even needing money anymore. He could be the most fittest retiree in history.
We don't mind if Brock Lesnar's making one appearance every 2 years or whatever, man. Like, as soon as his beast music switches on, turns on, we're always ready for Brock Lesnar. Always. But yeah, I agree with you. I think that Brock Lesnar will lose this. I like that prospect of Bobby Lashley coming there and doing the screw job. So it's going to be very interesting. You got to remember Omos with MVP as well. Remember we was talking about Hurt Business.
Yeah.
Could we see Hurt Business 2.0?
Give it to me.
Man. I will be ready for that. Okay. Edge versus Finn Balor. Now, I have been so excited about this matchup, especially when it was announced that he's asked for Finn Balor to bring the Demon. Yeah. Now, we've seen this before. We've seen the Demon appear. We've seen Edge also conjure up his own evil side as well. And hear me out with this.
Go on.
Now that the Demon is obviously been summoned, do you think we will see the return of the Brood?
Yes.
Give me the Brood. And I'm talking about not just Brood music.
Nah, Gangrel.
I need to see Gangrel.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that AEW is giving special permission for Christian to make an appearance.
Ooh.
I don't know how true that is, but we've seen it with Mickie James. Like, obviously, she got special permission. Obviously, she was wrestling with TNA, and TNA is hugely affiliated with AEW. If I see the Brood, I'm losing my mind. I want to hear them. I want to hear the Brood music properly. None of this. And obviously, I can see Judgment Day getting involved. So clearly, it's going to be a numbers game. We've got to see the Brood, man. Tell me you believe that, man. Is this going to happen?
It should happen. And maybe even if Christian doesn't come, if Gangrel can sort of be like a play in the entrance, bon appetit. That's what I can say to that. Because if I'm being honest,
it's in Hollywood.
Hmm?
It's in Hollywood, so some theatrics of some kind could happen.
Yeah.
There's no Undertaker.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna miss that theatrical aspect of WrestleMania.
I mean, like, I will say this though. Actually, no, I'll change my statement because I was going to say something, but I'll change my statement. The Demon doesn't need a Judgment Day.
Okay.
That entrance should be him. That match should be him. And if I'm being honest, he should go over. The Demon lost one match to Roman Reins, but it's Roman Reins. That's the final boss. He doesn't lose to anybody, right? Right. I don't think that should happen. But even the way they did it as well, they made him summon himself like he's some Nollywood evil character that found he was slapping around like a what's that Pokemon? Magikarp on the floor. And then he goes onto the top rope and then unprovoked, the whole ring rope just comes off. It was just weird. It's very weird. That didn't need to happen. Nollywood. That was a nonsense. That was a very big nonsense. So he lost that match. But the Demon, the reason why it's so good as you so rarely is because that's what he is. An attraction is rare. You get a special entrance. You get a more aggressive Finn. Like, this is what we should be looking for. So for this match alone, I want to see the Brood and I want to see the Demon entrances. But I think just for this, I think it makes sense for Finn to go over. Because if Finn goes over, you'll give him the chance to also become a main event player again. And the thing about Cody Rhodes that's very different to Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes is very over and Cody Rhodes will be difficult to defeat, but he's not a final boss. He might defeat the final boss, but he's not a final boss. So, please, give it to Finn.
I think at this point in Edge's career and watching Edge over the years, I don't think we don't get or we don't anticipate anything like in terms of a win or anything like that. We just want to see moments. And for me, as long as I see something of that ilk of like the Brood and stuff, win, lose or draw, I don't really care. But I just want to see real moment and just the prospect of the Brood possibly coming back just for one night. I'm here for that, man. So yeah, very interesting to see. Moving on to Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus. This is going to be a brutal fest of
match of the weekend. I'm saying it now.
Yeah,
yeah.
You point out there.
Match of the weekend. This is going to be brutal.
Take it away. Let me know why.
They're just gonna destroy each other, man. These guys will literally stand behind the curtain and be like the curtain and say, "Hey, man, slap my chest hard, yeah." He'll be like, "Yeah, you punch me, like kick me in the gut. Let me know that you're here. You know the Vinnie Jones tackles. I'll let you know that I'm about like that." So hey,
they're gonna try and bring it home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a physical battle, man. These are guys that live for it, and whether that's been in WWE or whether that's been on the independents as their own characters, wherever, they've just all lived for physical altercations in the ring because it makes it look even more spectacular. And some of Sheamus' best rivalries before he became the Bar with Cesaro, when they had like that 5 series where they were just banging the hell out of each other. Oh man, Drew McIntyre with anybody is just a physical thing. And Gunther, those slaps alone are peak.
He's a major player in that kind of weight category as well.
Bro, if he slaps you, yeah. Remember the bar from Temps? What's he goes? Punch up guy try to backs man straight in his eyes. They throw me. I was looking at the sky. Now I have to go blind. That boy there. That's where you're gonna. That's the energy that slap gives you. When you feel that, you're like, nah, I'm getting up. I'm gonna bang you. Is
that worse than Big Show's?
Shh. Yes. Yeah. Because Big Show requires silence. He doesn't require silence, man. He could be in a Ghana party and you'll hear that slap. I promise you. I promise you.
Kojo, that's too much, man. All right, so you're saying that's gonna be there's not really any real backstory to it besides just three Three brutes that at the moment can't really go for the world title. The IC title's obviously got a bit of a prestige to it. I'm not really a big fan of the title, the way it looks and the belt. But yeah, that's neither here or there. But yeah, I would agree, man. This has got potential to being a really good matchup. So yeah, I'm gonna look out for that one. Bianca Belair and Asuka, you can talk about this because I ain't got time for this Bianca Belair at the moment, man.
Oh, bro, I've said my piece already as well, just like you, man. I've got time for Bianca. Unlike I know you don't. I've got time because you want us to have a Hilton, and I think I think her losing this match will ignite that. So I think you might get your wish. But like I've said, Asuka has to win, go on a monster run, and then face EO next year. That's what I want. That's what I've got to say about the match.
Man. I can't add anything more to this because it's just like I'm tired of the hair swinging. I'm tired of listen. She had an amazing WrestleMania moment. I loved her entrance last year. I felt like she approached her run in the most perfect way, from becoming like a novice to being mid card to being top. And she done it well, but it's just long. It's run its course, and I just feel like it's not her fault. She just hasn't had the right dance partners. And when you're a heel, you need to have good antagonizers. You know what I mean? You need to have guys, someone that's really gonna push you to your limit. And I just don't think she's had that. But I think the other way around, if she's got like the chip on her shoulder and she's like angry. Now, I don't want to, it's not an association to just her being, black and female or whatever, but I just feel like she just needs to have more bite to her character. And I feel like being a heel is definitely going to work. It's definitely going to work.
Fair enough.
All right. So last but not least, this is pretty much what everybody's been waiting for. The big main event itself, the Bloodline storyline has just dominated wrestling, not just WWE, but the whole entire wrestling industry. Roman Reigns, who for me is by far the head of the table across all organizations. He's had a hell of a run. In any era, this will be considered as an amazing run. Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. What is your take? I know we've mentioned it loosely, but are you still under the notion that Cody Rhodes is going to win this?
That's what I think. However, I want to approach this slightly different. I'm not making any predictions.
Oh, okay.
I think Cody's going to win, but if someone asks me who do you think like genuinely give me a winner, I'm not saying anything. And the reason why is because this is the first time in years that I genuinely don't know which way the main event's going, and that's fine by me.
No, man.
That's fine by me. So let it play out. Let it play out. It could be a pure match between two guys that just go when one goes over clean. It could be a lot of interference. It could be so many things. Me personally, I just want to see it. So that's literally my 2 pence. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not trying to speed things up. I'm not trying to.
I'm with you with that.
You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like even speeding things sometimes the rivalry and stuff. Like, oh, what happens next? And will Roman do this if he loses? Will Cody do this if like so many things can happen? That's literally why I'm just like, let this one play out. Everyone watch and enjoy. That's it.
The beauty of this, Kojo, is the fact, as you just mentioned, is it can go any way and you will be happy with it.
Exactly.
When was the last time you went into a like an event or a main event or any type of matchup and you just like, it has to go this way because this is the only way it makes sense. But this one, it can go either way. If Roman Reigns loses, as we mentioned, he can go on another absolutely tyrant run again in terms of getting back his titles, about putting the Bloodline, forming them, getting them back on song, getting them back in line. The blame game aspect to it could be there as well. And then if he wins, it's just like, we know that he always has a plan. As Sami Zayn said, when it comes to the Bloodline, they always know what to do. They always know how to win. How can you fight against this? And this is why I mentioned about the Sami Zayn situation where Cody Rhodes feels quite safe with the fact that Sami Zayn is like, you know, on board now. He's turned his back on the bloodline. Kevin Owens, who they've had their issues, you know, and Sami Zayn said a lot of hurtful things and wanted to be out of his shadow and all that kind of stuff. And if he was to turn on both of them, and it was a master plan from Roman Reigns, bro, just take all my money. I'll buy all the merchandise. I'll buy everything.
Money. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I think let's genuinely let this one play out, because I think like we watch it and then watch Monday after Mania, Raw after Mania, and then when we do the next podcast,
100%. Listen, we can go on and on in regards to the WrestleMania. We just gave you day 1 and day 2. We're gonna wrap it up there. On our return, we're gonna obviously on our return, we're gonna discuss the day after WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, which is one of the most brutal shows to be on after an event. The crowd are just crazy because you still got the crowd that have come in from international waters, the ones obviously stateside, and it's just a melange, a mixture of characters and everything, and ambience at a Raw event. And then also we'll touch on, because we didn't obviously get the chance to touch on the Hall of Fame. So we'll have a more clearer idea on who was inducted to the Hall of Fame. And for those that don't know, Hall of Fame is just like it will be in football, as we saw Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger were inducted. In wrestling, also they have their inductees. I believe it's Rey Mysterio. I'm not too sure on the others as well. So we'll get a nice idea on who made it in the Hall of Fame. With that being said, man, I'm buzzing for WrestleMania, man. Any final thoughts?
Let the games begin.
Guys, WrestleMania will be over 2 days, like we said. So if you're looking to watch it, it's going to be on Saturday and then also on Sunday, usually in and around 1 a.m. So, yeah, man, get your coffees, your drinks, or whatever you do, your snacks, sit up, get ready to watch. And then when we come back on Do You Still Watch Wrestling, please come on the show, man. Put your comments, interact with us. You can check us out on our handles there as well. As you can see, Kojo at Free in Midfield, myself at Dash of Sports, Dashiki Dash. Yeah, man. If you're watching it during that time of the night, yeah, shoot us a message, DM us or whatever. We'll interact with you guys, and then we'll see how we'll play out. But for myself, Dashiki Dash, Kojo in the building. We're gonna see you next time on Do You Still Watch Wrestling?
Sorry, let me do this properly.
Yeah, WrestleMania. Come on, man. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Stu, enjoy WrestleMania. Just like John Cena tells you, enjoy WrestleMania. It's not WrestleMania without you, Stu. It's not WrestleMania without you.
Guys, we'll see you next time, man. Appreciate it, man. Remember, like, subscribe, and do all of that, man. Help us out. We'll get this show buzzing as we want it to do. All right, peace. Bless.
All right.